Hi, I'm Chris. After suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome for 6 years, I fully recovered. I created this healing program to guide and support you on your healing journey from ME/CFS, fibromyalgia, long COVID, and related post-viral fatigue syndromes. If you haven't watched the previous videos in this series, I recommend starting from the beginning, as each video builds on the last. You can find them for free on my website at healing-space.online. In the previous video, we illustrated how mindfulness is the number one key in moving us towards healing. Mindfulness allows us to break the vicious stress cycle by replacing our harmful automatic reactions to stressors with mindful responses. Once we begin responding to stressors in a calmer, more mindful way, our dysregulated autonomic nervous system can gradually return to balance, restoring normal functioning to our body. As a result, our symptoms and illness will naturally begin to fade. In this video, we'll dive deeper into why mindfulness is the core factor in healing. We'll also look at secondary factors that support our journey towards recovery. As you can imagine, several factors can help us reduce stress and move towards healing. At the center is mindfulness, our primary healing factor. Besides mindfulness, there are secondary factors that can support us on our healing journey. These secondary factors include medical care, alternative therapies, symptom management, pacing, social support, mental health support, lifestyle adjustments, physical activity, sleep hygiene, and diet and nutrition. While these supporting factors play valuable roles, I strongly believe that they are secondary to mindfulness. In my view, mindfulness is the primary factor for reducing stress and fostering true healing, as it addresses the root cause of excessive stress. By applying mindfulness, we target stress directly and most effectively. The secondary factors provide essential support, yet they do not directly reduce stress in the same way mindfulness does. Now, let's go over the healing factors in more detail. Mindfulness is by far the most important healing factor because it is proven to help us reduce stress. It allows us to replace our automatic stress-inducing reactions with mindful responding and thus reducing our stress significantly. But what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the ability to simply observe the current moment without judging. When we are mindful, we drop into the present moment and observe our thoughts, emotions, and body sensations without wanting to change anything, but simply allowing them to be as they are. In other words, we are practicing being with things as they are, instead of wanting things to be different. Mindfulness needs to be experienced rather than just understood theoretically in order to benefit from it. Just like you can read about swimming, which gives you a theoretical understanding of it, you need to get in the water to really know what it's like. Mindfulness works the same way. You need to practice it to truly understand and experience its benefits. For this reason, let's now take a moment to do a quick meditation practice together. If it's safe to do so, wherever you are, you can gently close your eyes, or if you prefer, keep them open with a soft gaze. There's no need to adjust your position or do anything special. Simply bring your attention inward and give yourself permission to be fully present for the next few moments. Let's begin this brief meditation. Let's start by simply arriving in this moment. We begin by noticing our breath, each inhale and exhale, just as it is. If focusing on the breath doesn't feel quite right for you, we can instead notice sensations in our body, like the contact with whatever we're sitting or lying on, whether it's a chair, bed, or couch. So allowing ourselves to simply feel each breath or body sensation without needing to change or control anything. If our mind drifts off into the past or the future, then this is completely normal. We're practicing simply noticing this and gently guiding our attention back to the breath or to the sensations in the body right now. What can you feel right now? As we draw this meditation to a close, we once again notice our breath and the sensations in our body right now. Maybe becoming aware of where we are in the room, noticing sounds around us, and when we are ready, we can gently open our eyes in case they are closed and fully coming back to the room. This brief meditation is now complete. Congratulations, you have just meditated. How do you feel right now? Perhaps you feel calm and relaxed, or perhaps you don't. Either way is completely okay. Maybe you found yourself drifting off many times or had a hard time focusing. No worries, this is entirely normal, especially in the beginning. Meditation isn't about always staying present or having a quiet mind. Rather, it's about being with things as they are. So in case we drifted off during the meditation, we practice simply noticing this and kindly guiding ourselves back to the present moment. Of course, with regular practice, we become better at staying present and calming our mind and body. Practicing mindfulness helps us become more aware of what is happening in each and every moment. Mindfulness helps us specifically become aware when we're reacting to situations in ways that may not be helpful. It gives us the space to choose how we want to respond to any given situation or stressor. By responding to a stressor in calmer, more grounded ways, we're able to reduce our stress and activate the parasympathetic state, the state in which we feel safe, relaxed, and where natural healing can occur. In other words, mindfulness is the primary healing factor because it allows us to shift from a state of stress to a state of calm, where healing happens naturally. The wonderful thing about mindfulness is that it's a skill that can be learned and strengthened over time. That's why in this healing program, we'll focus deeply on understanding and applying mindfulness, as I believe it's one of the most effective ways to achieve lasting recovery and healing regarding CFS, fibromyalgia, long COVID, and other stress-related syndromes. While mindfulness remains the primary focus, incorporating supporting factors can significantly enhance the healing journey. There is, for instance, medical care. Doctors can play a vital role in managing our illness by assisting with symptom management and offering treatment options. Personally, I consulted with many doctors early in my illness, but I eventually stopped because I realized that the true path to healing wasn't something a doctor could entirely provide. However, it's still important to consult your doctor, especially if you notice any new or acute symptoms that feel different from what you usually experience. Regular checkups and open communication with your healthcare provider are essential for addressing any concerns and ruling out other potential health issues. Alternative therapies. Some find relief through therapies like acupuncture, chiropractic, herbal medicine, homeopathy, Ayurveda, massage therapy, or energy healing. I've tried out most of them, but personally, they did not help me. That doesn't mean they can't help you. We are all different, and so it is important to find supporting therapies that work for you. Ideally, consulting with practitioners who understand your condition. Symptom management. Identifying and managing specific symptoms such as pain, sleep disturbances, and cognitive issues can significantly improve our overall quality of life. If there are strategies or techniques that help alleviate your symptoms, it's absolutely worth incorporating them into your routine. For example, if you have fibromyalgia and experience pain or stiffness, techniques like heat therapy, cold packs, massage, or gentle stretching may provide relief. Additionally, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can be helpful in managing chronic pain by reframing unhelpful thought patterns around pain and disability. At the same time, it's essential to understand that the root cause of these symptoms lies in chronic stress. Over time, excessive stress dysregulates the autonomic nervous system, leading to the physical, mental, and emotional symptoms we experience. While managing symptoms is valuable, the strategy of only addressing them without focusing on the underlying cause, which is chronic stress, won't lead to lasting healing. If certain practices alleviate your symptoms, please continue doing them. However, it's equally important to focus on the primary healing factor, mindfulness. Mindfulness allows us to reduce stress in the moment, effectively addressing the root cause of our illness. By combining symptom management with mindfulness, we can support both immediate relief and long-term healing. Pacing. Pacing is all about managing and balancing our daily activities to avoid overexertion and prevent symptom flare-ups, such as post-exertional malaise. It's a practical approach that helps us conserve energy. However, many of us tend to push through, even when our body says no, but our mind says yes. Pacing can be challenging because we're used to being able to accomplish things without second thought, whether it's grocery shopping, working, staying up late, or exercising. Accepting that we can't do these things as easily as we used to for the time being is difficult but essential. So please respect your body's and mind's limits. At the same time, I want to emphasize that simply pacing and avoiding potential stress won't be enough for true healing. To truly reduce our stress and work towards healing, we need to practice mindfulness, allowing us to transform how we respond to stress rather than just avoiding it. Social support. Building a supportive network of friends, family, and others who understand the challenges of our illness can be incredibly valuable. Emotional support helps combat feelings of isolation and provides a sense of connection. At the same time, it's important to recognize that people who haven't experienced chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, or post-COVID syndrome themselves may not fully understand what we're going through. They may struggle to relate to our symptoms or grasp the debilitating nature of the illness, and that's okay. The key is to avoid using our limited energy trying to convince others of how we feel. Instead, we can focus our energy on supporting ourselves, nurturing our own well-being and working towards healing. Mental health support. Counseling or therapy can be incredibly helpful in managing the emotional toll of chronic illness, particularly when it brings up feelings of anxiety, depression, or grief over lifestyle changes. Support groups, whether in person or online, can also provide a sense of community and shared understanding, helping to reduce feelings of isolation. At the same time, I found that some groups focus primarily on venting about the illness and may have given up on finding solutions. For me, this felt counterproductive and even held me back from making progress. I realized that just talking about the illness and feeling sorry for myself wasn't going to change anything. If we want to see real change in our condition, we need to take action. In my view, the most effective step we can take is understanding and actively working on reducing stress. This is exactly what this healing program is designed to help you do. By addressing stress, the root cause of dysregulation in our autonomic nervous system, we create the conditions necessary for meaningful progress and recovery. Lifestyle adjustments. Adopting healthy lifestyle changes can significantly impact our overall well-being and ability to manage stress. This can include routine and structure. So establishing a regular routine can ease the mental strain of daily life, especially when energy is limited. Quitting a stressful job. If your job is a major source of stress, finding a role or work environment that supports your health and happiness can be beneficial. Following your passion. Pursuing activities that bring joy and purpose can help counteract stress and uplift mental health. Aligning life with personal values. Living according to your values and beliefs can reduce inner conflict and bring a greater sense of peace and fulfillment. Physical activity. Gentle, low-impact exercises such as stretching, Tai Chi, or yoga can be beneficial for those with ME/CFS, fibromyalgia, and long COVID, but they should be approached with care to avoid overexertion. That is why I believe that the controversial graded exercise therapy is not beneficial and can even be harmful to us. A more individualized approach, focusing on gentle and mindful movement, tends to be safer and more supportive in managing symptoms without risking overexertion. Sleep hygiene. Improving sleep quality can be challenging with conditions like CFS, fibromyalgia, and long-haul COVID. But maintaining consistent habits can be beneficial. This includes creating a calming bedtime routine, avoiding screens before bed, keeping a regular sleep schedule, and consulting a healthcare provider for sleep-related issues. Naps and rest breaks during the day can also help, especially when fatigue or post-exertional malaise, PEM, is severe. However, I believe sleep quality is closely tied to how we feel during the day. When we're more relaxed and balanced throughout the day, it positively affects our sleep at night. In my experience, once I started practicing mindfulness regularly, I became calmer during the day and my sleep improved as well. I know that sleep is a big topic for many of us. That is why we will discuss this further in the program. Finally, diet and nutrition. A well-balanced and nutrient-rich diet is important. Healthy foods are fruits and vegetables, as they come with many vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Whole grains such as brown rice, quinoa, and oats, as they provide fiber and essential nutrients. Lean protein coming from poultry, fish, lean meat, eggs, legumes, and plant-based proteins. Healthy fats such as avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. Dairy or dairy alternatives, and water or herbal teas as liquids. Unhealthy foods. Those are foods with added sugars, such as sugary drinks, candy, desserts. Fried foods, because they contain unhealthy fats and are low in nutrients. And highly processed foods, such as ready-to-eat meals. In short, aim to eat fresh, non-processed, low-sugar foods and drink water as the main source of hydration. Besides mindfulness, these secondary healing factors can also help us to reduce stress. Of course, this list is not exhaustive, and there may be other factors that further support us in managing stress and promote healing. It's essential to remember that everyone's journey with CFS, fibromyalgia, and post-COVID syndrome is unique. So what helps one person may not work for another. If you have found approaches that benefit you, keep doing them. Trust yourself. You know best what feels right and what doesn't. That said, I truly believe that to achieve real healing, we need to address the root cause. We need to reduce stress. The most effective and proven way to do this is through a regular mindfulness practice, which is why this healing program is heavily centered around mindfulness. You know, in my personal experience, I tried out many of those supporting factors, and for me, they didn't bring lasting relief. It wasn't until I understood stress and its impact on our body that it became clear to me that the only thing I really need to do is to reduce my stress by starting to replace my harmful automatic reactions with calmer ways of responding, no matter what stressors I would face in daily life. And this approach truly healed me. And that is why I made this healing program, to make it easier for you to focus on the one strategy that, in my opinion, has the biggest effect when it comes to reducing stress and healing from these conditions. In the next video, we'll examine common healing strategies that often don't lead to lasting results because they overlook the root cause of chronic stress and a dysregulated autonomic nervous system. If you'd like to continue, you can watch the complete introductory video series for free on my website at healing-space.online. This video series is designed to support you in healing from chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, long COVID, and related post-viral fatigue syndromes. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and follow. Thank you, and see you in the next video.